Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. We hang out a little bit longer, and on Friday, we like to go back and catch up on any email, voicemails, and other things that we might have missed during the week.
So many things rolling in, even from my Facebook Live last night. Murphy, you didn't even know that I went live last night, did you?
No, I guess I wasn't paying attention again.
Caught me off guard.
Oh, on my walk. I've never done that away from the house. I was way far down away from the house, and I thought, well, it'll either work or it won't with connection. And so
I had
went
no
live
idea. You
during
didn't even tell me that when you got home.
Why bother?
Okay. Well, that's
Anyway,
fun.
It was fun, and, just shouting out some love to those in the Carolinas and Georgia and Tennessee recovering, and a lot of you were there.
Okay.
A lot of you were there, maybe not able to listen in the last week, but online for sure.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Or or you have me every day anyway.
Well, I do, but I love. I mean, I love hearing from anybody that interacts. Also, on Facebook, Instagram, and all that.
So much to get to. It's Grateful Friday. We love hearing that, and that's where I want to start. Your grateful comments. Mary sent this in. Grateful that MSJ normalized not drinking alcohol. Family genetics cursed me with the inability to moderate my intake of alcohol.
Oh.
I stopped drinking years ago. When I would tell whomever I was with, I don't want to drink, just tea or lemonade, etc. They don't freak out anymore, so keep normalizing it. I'm healthier now than I've ever been because I don't drink. Love you guys.
Thank you. And, I do think that as time is worn on and awareness is worn on now, you also have, new generations that understand and don't judge on that. If you were a child, well, I don't want to say a child of the 70s or 80s, but, so let's say
60s.
like the people, the greatest generation, the baby boomers, my dad's parents, they were a generation that absolutely socialized with alcohol. It was part of everything. And they probably, I guess they came out of prohibition and all that. So once alcohol started flowing again, everybody did it. And at that time, for whatever reason, people who were drunk were either funny or just the town drunk. And no one really addressed the seriousness of it, and certainly nobody talked about it being genetic.
Correct.
But then, the baby boomer generation, I think, it would be probably the last generation to have a stigma, I guess, about it. Anybody, to me, younger than that today, hopefully, has been exposed to enough of the messaging and support groups and family members who've experienced it themselves that it is certainly normal.
More normalized.
But another thing, too, is the mocktails. Those have become so much more popular. I mean, bars have a mocktail menu. You have events that are just mocktail only.
Well, and there actually are plenty of 20-somethings that I know that and 30-somethings that actually they just don't drink.
They choose to do
They
it.
don't have a problem. They just don't drink. It's not like it's alcohol.
And they're smart. Hello, it's smarter. You know why? Because it's not good for you. And for all the things that we kind of typically want to say, that are, you miss the good old days and there are a lot of problems now. There's a lot more information now. And like you're saying, the younger generation has a different view of it. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. And, the other part of that is there's nothing wrong with anybody that chooses to drink and can do it without there being any issue whatsoever. And for the person that needs to stay away from it, like me and Sam and a host of others around the world, I remember at the beginning it felt a little bit weird going into circle because I felt compelled to explain, but you don't have to. You're sitting in with the bar at the bar with everybody else if that happens to be the setting. And when I order a Diet Coke or whatever a diet drink that I order, no big.
Not a thing anymore. Whenever you first when you first stopped drinking, I remember being, because we're married, I would be nervous for you, that you were going to feel weird about it or that anybody with us was, that I was mostly worried about you, because we're connected. We're a couple.
I understand.
And so I was
totally.
like, is he going to want one so badly that his night is going to be ruined because, so-and-so across the table from us is having one. And it took me a little while to drink with you, like with you sitting next to me.
Which
I wouldn't
doesn't
order a drink for a long time, and now I can and do. Not that I do that to excess or anything.
Yeah, you don't. You were always very respectful when it came to that. But
what I'm saying is I was nervous. There was an underlying worry that I wasn't even vocalizing to you. know?
Yeah, we hang out with some party peeps.
Yeah, sure do and did. Nancy sent this in. I'm grateful for all the helpers that I'm seeing in the Carolinas after the devastation of Helene. For real. Deanna, same sort of thing. Grateful for all the linemen who have come to Georgia to help. I've seen license plates from all over the place. Indiana, California, Alabama, Louisiana. I think I saw a list of 13 different license plates at some point coming in to help, not just neighbors, helping neighbors. Our country is a wonderful place to be. I hope everyone realizes that. Heroes walk among us.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
There are a couple of stories that I read this week that were really, they jumped out at me and were touching because, and both, I guess one of them was specific to Asheville, which, of course, the historic district there is gone. And they were talking about how, of course, never expecting anything like that. It's not the kind of storm you would ever think would happen. And the art district there are so many people that make a living off of that. And that tourism in that area those businesses generate about $1 billion in sales revenue every year. And so that's a huge loss to somebody who's, I don't know, either retired or lives there, and does that full time and is wondering how they're going to rebuild. There was one lady that was talking about how she was on the first floor of a 2-story building and all of her picture frames that she sold got washed away. But the water went to the top of the second floor. Not even, not just in her business. Yeah.
Everything.
And
some people will move away and start over somewhere else, and others will rebuild. And when they do start rebuilding, America needs to show up and support. Like tourism needs to come back. And I think that we will.
Well, think about, when Chattanooga burned, and I'm sorry, Gatlinburg, when the fires in Gatlinburg took place, tourism immediately came and saved the day. People aren't going to, blow that off. I think it will come back. I know it's going to take time for it to rebuild. The other thing that I saw that I thought was touching to me is everything from heavy equipment to mules, literally.
I know, I
have
saw
been
that.
transporting goods and things up into areas that can't be reached.
They can't be reached by the equipment.
Right.
But by the mules, they can. I love that story, and I saw that story too.
Yeah.
And then Julie sent this in for Grateful Friday. My daughter's getting married tomorrow. I am grateful for everyone who had a hand in raising her and her fiance. I'm grateful that they found each other. Julie,
congratulations.
You're the mother of the bride. I want to know what you're wearing. Send it to us, and I want to know how the day goes. Not that it's about that, but, it's so funny because the parents, you're also a very important part of that day, even though it's focused on the couple. It's a day in your life, too, that you sort of keep to yourself and share just with your people. But it's a big day in your life, too. Yeah. It's a big day in a parent's life, too.
Yeah.
A hard day, I'm sure.
I have an email here from Susie.
Yeah.
Hi, Jodi, Murphy, and Sam.
Hi.
Hi, Susie.
Susie, you got that order there wrong.
That order's fine.
I love listening to the show. You guys take me to work every day, and then I listen to your After the Show podcast at work.
I hope you're hearing this one.
I wish you were on longer every day. I know, not fair to you guys, but I love you. I wanted to comment to Jodi regarding cooking bacon in the oven. I do it that way all the time, and I love it.
I don't like the cleanup is why I don't do it.
That's what she's addressing. To help with the grease cleanup, cover your cookie sheet completely with foil. Put the foil over the edges. All of the grease stays put and not on the cookie sheet. And once you're done, let the cookie sheet and the grease cool. Then just remove the foil and throw the foil and the grease in the trash.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I bet it's solid.
Yeah.
It's a solid layer of grease. The kind that my grandmother would have saved and cooked with.
And a way to speed up that process, if you want, stick it in the fridge.
Correct.
That'll get the grease all hard.
Okay, I really do like bacon in the oven.
Yeah.
It's so flat and fantastic.
Anything that's cooked in the oven that leaves grease like that, I think about it if it winds up being like a tenderloin or something, and then you wind up cutting it on that foil, then you've just ruined the process because then the grease goes on the pan anyway. You know?
Yeah. Not a good plan, but we've all done it.
Yeah.
Because we're hungry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susie. We love hearing from you. Keep it coming anytime. You can also call anytime and leave us voicemail if you want to, or if we're here, we'll answer. 877-310-4MSJ.